Hello, my spectacular speakers. Welcome to the Sensational Speakers Lounge. I go live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Today's live is called How to Hold Webinars to Attract Clients. For the month of August, I will be talking about publicity and public relations. For those of you who don't know me, my name, excuse me, my name is Deborah Northcutt. I am your speaker support consultant. And what I do is I support speakers. Now, you don't have to be necessarily a speaker or call yourself a speaker, but if you want to get out there and use speaking as a vehicle to get out there and attract more clients and to be seen, then I work for you. I work for speakers. You are a speaker. I'm sitting here on this Facebook Live talking to you, and I am a speaker also. Anytime that you get out and you're putting yourself out there talking to the public, you are a speaker. So I support speakers, and that means that if you are a coach or a consultant who desires to build your business through speaking, then this live is for you too. You know how there are so many speakers out there who want to get their message out to the world, but they don't know how? Well, what I do through my company, Free You Up VA, is to help you get more speaking engagements so you can make more money and live the life that you always wanted. Just call me your go to girl for speakers. Now, if you're not able to watch this live and you're watching the replay, use the hashtag replay down in the comments so I can reply back to you. I always go back later after my Facebook Lives are over and check to see if any comments were left. And if you have any questions, make sure you put them down there because I answer all questions that have been left. Now, let me know, where are you watching from? Put your name of your city or your state down in the comments so we can do some virtual networking while you're here. You never know who might be watching and might need your services. And drop your website links or your social media links in the comment box so we can connect with you and get to know you better. Now, what's your business? What do you do? How do you serve people? How do you help people? And if you get any value from my Facebook Live, please invite 5 people to watch this live. Make sure that you share my video with 5 people or more if you want to, if you get some value from my Facebook Live. Now, I help speakers, like I said, to get speaking engagements. If you need help getting speaking engagements, make sure that you set up a discovery call with me. I will put the link to my calendar up in the description box when I'm done with this live, when this live is over. Now, I have a Facebook group called Support for Spectacular Speakers. I'd love for you to come and be a part of my community. Now, in my Facebook community, Support for Spectacular Speakers, you get to network with other spectacular speakers just like yourself. Now, you can get all your burning questions answered on Ask Me Mondays. You can ask me anything, and I will make sure that I answer your questions. If you want me to answer it by video, I can do that also. Now, on Tuesdays, I have a Go Live Tuesday where you can go live in the group and let us know what you have upcoming in your business, or teach us something, or anything that you might want to talk about for 5 minutes or less. It's not long. It doesn't have to be a long, drawn out Facebook Live. Like I said, 5 minutes or less. That would be great. And let us know what you might have upcoming in your business. If you have your own webinar coming up, if you have whatever, coming up, if you have a sale going on, if you have I know somebody in my group was having what do you call it, a vision board party coming up. So if you have something coming up, let us know about it. Now, I put a poll in my Facebook group, Support for Spectacular Speakers. And what I asked was, webinars are a great lead generation tool. What are some of the reasons why you have not held a webinar? Now, these are the questions that I asked. Do you feel as if you lack the technology to hold a webinar? I know some people are afraid of technology and there are a lot of moving parts to hold a webinar. Do you lack the time to promote a webinar? And another question I asked was, do you feel that you don't have a golden radio voice to hold a webinar? Now, I know we can be very critical of the way we sound on video, and also let's not even start talking about the way we look. But no, all of us don't have a golden radio voice, but that should not stop you from hosting a webinar. Now, and also the last question I asked was, you don't have a webinar topic to promote. That stops a lot of people from hosting a webinar also because they feel like they don't know what to talk about. And I received responses to all of those questions, and I understand they are a big concern for hosting your own webinar. So let's get to today's live. And as I said, the name of today's Facebook Live is How to Hold Webinars to Attract Clients. Now, if you never hosted a webinar before, it can be tough knowing where to start. Hosting webinars for marketing activities is no longer a novel idea, it's a necessity. Webinars are a great lead generation tool. But lead generation isn't the only reason you should be hosting a webinar. Done right, they can help you keep new and existing customers happy and engaged. Now, I know in this age of COVID 19, you need to find ways to pivot your speaking business and stay relevant at the same time. You should be working on building your list right now. Now, I know that you probably were busy in the past, probably doing other things like hosting webinars or putting products together or things like that. But now, in the age of COVID 19, and there are so many people who are at home and you have the time, you should be creating lead magnets to attract customers and clients and building your list. Now, a webinar can be considered a networking on steroids with a number of leads and connections that you can come away with. It's a valuable tool for effective and efficient business building. So, if you're ready to start building your list, a webinar may be the perfect choice. Now, if you never considered using webinars before, you might want to change your mind. Now, here are just some of the business benefits of webinars that you can use to your advantage to attract clients. Now, you can use webinars to promote your availability and expertise as a speaker. Now, speaking on webinars that companies and other organizations host can be an excellent way to keep yourself out in the public eye as the expert in your speaking field. And like I said, you need to be staying relevant right now. Even though you can't go to speaking events in person, you still need to be out there and be seen and be recognized as someone um, who's relevant in your speaking niche. Now, you might not get paid for speaking on a webinar, but you can't look at it like that. If you have some kind of course or program or service and you are allowed to sell it on the webinar, that is the way you will get paid and attract clients. Now, check with professional organizations or associations that deal with your topic area or niche. They often offer webinar programs for their members, and they are always looking for new speakers and content. Now, this can be a way for you to be seen by potential clients who can recommend you for their corporate events later. And also by hosting a webinar, you can become a recognized authority. Another common business benefit of webinars is that they can be used to build your reputation. And I think I had spoke on that earlier about hosting webinars and staying current and visible out here in this age of COVID-19. Hosting webinars will help you become recognized as an authority in your field. This is especially important if you're still trying to break into a particular industry and you have to create. I don't know what's wrong with my tongue. You have to create enough buzz for yourself. Now, if you are able to produce a successful webinar, you will be able to build a following among your target market. Continued success will also help you to expand and capture a wider segment. And also by hosting a webinar, you can promote products to attract clients. Now, you might be saying, Deborah, I don't have any products, services, or anything tangible to sell right now. Well, you don't have to sell any products. I mean, if you don't have any products to sell, did you know that by hosting a webinar, once it's over, that you can turn that webinar into a product? Yes, you can. Now, webinars are not only a means unto themselves, they are also often very used as vehicles to promote a product. That is why that you'll find speakers of webinars, they have books, ebooks, audio, video, and other products that they market to their audience through their lectures. Generally speaking, a speaker would discuss a topic with their audience and then refer to a product that can be used as reference or a guide or instructional material. Much of that content can be found in these products that cannot be accessed in the webinar that you're hosting. So the audience will be motivated to purchase your products once you offer them once your webinar is over. And also by hosting a webinar, it will help you communicate with your customers on a more personal level. Now, you should always be staying in contact with your customers. And when I say your customers, I mean your clients on your email list. Now, another great benefit of webinars is that they allow you to keep in contact with your customers. Businesses can harness the technology used for both methods to personalize their services. Whether you decide to hold a free or a paid webinar for lectures, they are also very effective as a means to interact with a business's audience or market on a more personal level. You might have some questions regarding how to hold a webinar. Now, here are some normal questions that you might have. How long should my webinar be? Audience prefer webinars to last between 30 to 45 minutes. Now, you want to pick a topic that can easily fill in those 30 to 45 minutes. Now, how often should you? Let me go back. Some people do host a webinar that can be an hour long, but I would say that most people would prefer to sit through a webinar that's 30 to 45 minutes. If it is an hour long, I would say that try to break it up a little bit. Make sure that you host it for 45 minutes and then keep the other 15 minutes for questions and answers at the end. Now, how often should you host a webinar? People will commit to one webinar per week. So make sure that you organize and promote your webinar well. When is the best time to host a webinar? Normally, when people are off work and free to attend your webinar. Now, other times are noon or 1 o'clock. And sometimes I know people do host webinars in the evening time when people are off from work. But like I said, with people being home now during this COVID-19, I would host my webinar in the daytime around noon or 12 o'clock. Or, if you prefer to host it earlier, that would be up to you. Just try some different times and see which time works best for you. And the final question is, when is the best day to host a webinar? Statistics show that Tuesdays are the best days to host a webinar. Wednesdays and Thursdays are close behind Tuesdays. Now, how do hosting webinars attract clients? I'm going to go over those 4 ways that I talked about before. I said that hosting a webinar helps you to promote your availability and expertise as a speaker. Hosting a webinar helps you become a recognized authority. And hosting a webinar will help you promote products to attract clients so you can build your list. And hosting a webinar helps you to communicate with customers on a more personal level. And if you need help getting speaking engagements, make sure that you set up a time on my calendar to have a discovery call with me and see how I can help you. Now, I will put the link up in the description box, like I said. And now you can follow me on all social media sites. My Facebook personal site is Deborah Northcutt. My business page, my Facebook business page is Free You Up VA. That's V as in Victor, A as in Apple. Free You Up VA. My Facebook group page is Support for Spectacular Speakers. My Facebook personal page is my name, Deborah Northcutt. My LinkedIn page is also my name, Deborah Northcutt. My Instagram page is free underscore you underscore up underscore V as in Victor, A as in Apple, VA. And my Twitter handle is at free you up VA. Now I'll see you next week, every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central Daylight Time in the Sensational Speakers Lounge. I'm Deborah Northcutt, your speaker support consultant. Bye for now and have a great day.